Hey, shalom, 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 everyone. Welcome to another episode of My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. I am Rosh Ya'acob, your host for tonight, the host with the most. I don't know, I was trying to think of a little lingo or something to go with that. Anyway, some of y'all are seeing me for the first time live on Facebook and on TikTok at the same time. I'm actually on all three at the same time. This is something I'm trying out to see how this works. So I'm actually live right now on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at the same time. I'm probably going to do this on Mondays and Wednesdays, where it seems like you guys really want to hear a lot of the stuff I got to say. Thursdays and Fridays, I will only be on YouTube exclusively. But on Mondays and Wednesdays, I will be simultaneously broadcasting on those three services, and it will be at 9:45. My apologies for my tardiness, but I wanted to make sure that since I'm premiering on all three spaces, that it looked like something. I didn't want to just get on here with just any old thing and you guys be looking like, what in the world is this? So I got to have a good first impression. So hopefully so far so good. Shalom, shalom, shalom to each one of you out there in these different realms. So tonight, you see what the show is going to be about. There's a lot of information that we're going to delve into. Trying to figure out how I'm going to put all of it together. I'm still trying to put that together in my mind, how I'm going to put all of these things together. But it is a lot of things that we're going to go through and we're going to talk about. And first things first, I want to introduce you to our sponsor. Our sponsor is The Art of Clothing. As always, I have the different drip on. This is the Art of Clothing wings that I'm wearing right now. So that you guys see it, the AOC. So they have a website with a lot of different and good things they have on there that they are selling. Hopefully you guys will please support this brother. This brother is really doing his all to try to make this business come up. And I'm real proud of him, Brother Alex, and all that he's doing. So please support him with the AOC. And this is their commercial. All right. Shalom, 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 everyone. All right, we're back at it. It was something that I wanted to show you guys. We were talking about this on Monday's show, and it was a very, very deep issue that we were talking about on Monday's show. And I said I wanted to bring it over to tonight's show. It was dealing with this thing that the FBI came up with. I wanted to make sure I spoke on that because I wanted y'all to see there's a lot behind that. And it's this idea of being called an identity extremist. An identity extremist. I really wanted y'all to see what was going on with that. Trying to locate the video now. Let's see. There it goes, right here. All right, so let me prepare that for you guys so y'all can see this. Because there's going to be a lot said within this. So before I actually open it up to where we're at, I wanted to talk about that first. Because that's a very negative thing to be called. Very, very, very negative thing to be called. And it's actually a label. And I want you to see how different people are using a playbook against the Israelites, against Hebrew Israelites, against West African Jews, even against African Americans who converted to Judaism, which is why some of them try to really come out hard against people who didn't convert, because they're getting it on their end. And so they had to join in and also be like, oh, I'm against those guys too. So we're going to look at all those things. But first, let me open up with this right here. Now, this right here is a video. And on this video, is going to be exposing something. And I want to explain how I got to even looking at this video with No Fugazee, Brother Cooley from No Fugazee, and of course our Captain Tzariach. So I wanted to, but before I get into how I even got on that video, it was something that I seen when I was on that video. Now, when we get into the video, I'm going to tell you how I got on it as we get into it. Because it was this brother in this group, and I have to put the link to this in that group because I told the brother I was going to speak on it. He tried to hack the captain. Said some Lashon Hara type stuff, and I was like, well, how you know that, brother? And then he tried to get smart with me. And you know me, I don't like people try to get smart. So I said, well, before I respond back, let me actually look and see what this brother talking about, because he sounds really, really crazy. Hey, shalom, 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 Makoti. How are you? All right, good to see you again. Good to see you again. So you're going to like this show tonight, Makoti. So we want to get right into this. I want y'all to see something, right? Watch this. Now, they playing the music loud to get you hype. But look at what it says. In August 2017, right? August 2017. That was just little under 8 years ago. Right, because we didn't get to August yet, so it can't be 8 years ago. So it's like little over 7 years ago. August 2017. It says an official FBI report on the threat of what? Black identity extremists was leaked to the public. Now, this was a report of a threat. Look who the FBI is saying the threat is. Look who the FBI is saying the threat is. The threat is black people. Black people who worry about their identity. It says in August of 2017. So this wasn't in the 60s and the 70s. This was just a little over 7 years ago. Little over 7 years ago, this report was leaked. So no telling how long the report was in play, but somebody leaked it during 2017 saying that the FBI is feeling a threat. It's threat. So now this is a threat of black identity extremists. And you might be like, why are you focusing on that, Ak? Because we're going to see in this debate where Brother Cooley that he's going to constantly be saying, y'all are doing this because of identity. He's going to keep saying that word. He's going to make sure he pronounces it with all addiction he can. Identity. And Captain Tzariach even going to repeat it the way he's saying it and say identity, right? And I want you to see why this is important. Because once people can label you and put you in a box, now we got someplace we can put you. Now we got something we can do with you. Now we got something we can do with you. So I said, well, hold on for a minute. We don't want it to go that route. So let's finish checking it out. They're going to explain more about this.
The report identified Black identity extremists as a threat to law enforcement.
They said Black identity extremists is a threat towards law enforcement. We're going to see that this is really a bad thing, right? And why are they focusing on Black people? So Black people can't have an identity? And if they focus on their identity, they're a threat. Like, think about this. I want you to really think about it. And who's doing it? The FBI. Remember those guys that was against any Black movement that said they're going to destroy any Black Messiah type that can rise up and rile the people up and get the people to come to consciousness? Seem like they still up to their old games, right? Ain't nothing changed. They still doing what they do. Don't it seem that way? Or is it me? Is it me? Or do it seem like they still doing what they do? I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all can let me know in the chat, in the comments, whatever. What y'all think? Y'all think they still doing? It seems to me like they still doing what they do. But I'm gonna go. Let me get back so we can go back into this.
Critics say the report is eerily similar to the FBI's 20th century counterintelligence program.
Now, the counterintelligence program, which was COINTELPRO, was a program that the FBI put in place. They put this program in place because they said, we want to be able to stop, again, these Black nationalists, Black identity people. They changed it from nationalist to Black identity. They wanted to be able to stop them from rising. And they would do anything, whether make them fight against each other and kill each other, make the public distrust them by feeding stuff to the public as far as fake knowledge about them so the public will hate them. Anything to cause them not to be able to grow. That's what they would do. Anything. Just keep this in mind. Even if it means setting up fake groups to go out there to pretend to be these people so that the public will look at them in a negative light, but it's really the people that they sent out there to pretend to be them. COINTELPRO got a lot of stuff with it. So let's get back into it.
COINTELPRO was an FBI operation established in the 50s by J. Edgar Hoover to target African Americans who were fighting for justice and equality. He targeted Dr. King, he targeted Malcolm X, and over 80% of the targets of COINTELPRO were members of the Black Panther Party.
This is who he target, right? That's what COINTELPRO was about. Now they got a new target, Black identity extremists. Black people who are focused on their identity, trying to wake people up to their identity. You are the new threat. You are the new threat. This is what you keep that in mind. Now, how do I know you the new threat? Normally, I put these videos out and I get a bunch of hits. But lately, since I've been talking like this, they've been keeping my numbers down low. I was even looking like, wow, nobody really what's going on here? Black identity extremists. You are the new threat. Don't let yourself get labeled.
Height of COINTELPRO, activists and community organizers were targeted. These include current Congressional Black Caucus members like John Lewis, Bobby Rush, Emmanuel Cleaver, and Barbara Lee.
The church committee in the mid-70s held hearings and determined that many of the actions and activities of COINTELPRO were really unconstitutional.
Now, I don't even know why I had to hold the committee. We can see very well that it was unconstitutional, but they held a committee. The committee said it was unconstitutional, but guess what? They still doing it. It didn't change anything.
What you described is a series of illegal actions intended squarely to deny First Amendment rights to some Americans.
Now, why are they so hard-pressed to make sure you don't know who you are? How's that a problem? Why is it a problem for you to have an identity? We're going to keep hearing them say, watch, we're going to get to it. We're about to, right after this, we're going to get to it. I'm going to let you hear it. I got it right to the part where he begins to use that term, and he used it from the beginning of that term, from the beginning of that part of the video to the very end, and keeps saying the same thing: identity, identity. I want you to keep that in mind.
How shall we ensure that it never happen again?
One of the similarities that I see are that it's based on race. You know, COINTELPRO definitely targeted African Americans. Black identity extremists, which Attorney General Jeff Sessions has put out, targets African Americans.
Exactly. Who is it targeting? FBA. So even calling yourself FBA, you become a black identity extremist. What Fat Joe said? Foundational black authority. Even though I felt like Fat Joe really didn't know what he was saying, but okay. He still was off the hook for saying that. I'm sorry, Fat Joe. You was off the hook for that.
It was brought to our attention. We immediately contacted the FBI director and had a very forthright meeting. I specifically asked him, how do they identify black identity extremists? Who are they? And there was no answer to that.
Yeah, you know why it was no answer? Because it is you. I want y'all to see this. You know why there's no answer to who is the black identity extremist? Because it is you, FBA. That very title, FBA, and everybody arguing over who's FBA, arguing over who created hip-hop. But they start saying, you a black identity extremist. Should that stuff matter? Right? Arguing over who's Israel. You a black identity extremist. I just want y'all to keep that in mind. Black identity extremist.
We still don't know who's a black identity extremist.
A lot of activists around the country are very concerned that we're getting ready to repeat a very sad chapter of our history.
That every activist, every person fighting for black people issues can be labeled as a black identity extremist. Hey, shalom, Magee. Just try to get us to understand being labeled. This idea of being a black identity extremist is crazy to me. That could be anybody. I'm telling you, it's you. It's you. You call yourself FBA. You will call yourself ADOS. He said, hey, thanks, sister. He said, I share the sentiments. They still doing what they do. Yes, Coach, they still doing it. It ain't go nowhere. Now, instead of saying black nationalist, now they just changed the term to black identity extremist. And you're going to see this brother who has the playbook. He has a playbook. We need to understand that he was given a playbook. Many people out here are given this playbook by quote unquote Christian street apologists. The main one is brother by the name of Vocab Malone. This guy named Vocab Malone, who's a street apologist, who fights against these black identity extremists, as he would call them. This is what it's about. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a game.
Where people who are rightfully protesting what they consider to be an injustice in their community, which is their relationship with police officers, are now being targeted and labeled as extremists and are going through periods of surveillance and harassment.
As a community worker, I attended many Black Panther Party functions. I was part of the breakfast program. We registered many people, the African American community and others, to vote.
See? I'll tell you that about the Black Panthers. Again, like I said on Monday's show, you want to hear more, go check out Monday's show. Breaking news. But yeah, it's right there on YouTube. Breaking news is speaking about the MLK files. That's the title of that one, the MLK files, right? The Black Panthers are the ones that started the breakfast programs. It's just history repeating itself. There's nothing new under the sun. Exactly, Ya'acob. Exactly. The threat was still there. The threat is there. They got a threat. They said they got to make sure this black messiah type never rises up to galvanize the people. So whenever anybody rises up that they feel might be messiah type or any kind of movement rises up, they got to stomp it out. That's fear. Fear. But they teach crazy stuff on the Black Panthers started WIC, Women, Infants, and Child. It was started by the Black Panthers. There wasn't no government program. It was started by the guy. They came behind them and did it. It was started by the Black Panthers. Feeding children in the morning breakfast before they go to school. That was started by Black Panthers. Having different free clinics within a community. That was started by Chairman Fred and the Black Panthers. A lot of this stuff that we seen happening, that we think was just government programs, the government picked up the slack after they got rid of the Black Panthers. They never taught you that stuff came about through the Black Panthers. They made it like it was something they came up with. Wasn't nothing they came up with.
Well, the FBI during COINTELPRO would try to turn members of the Black Panther Party against each other. Agent provocateurs were placed within the party to try to sow dissent.
And that's the whole thing. They will send people right among you. Right among you. I remember being in groups on Facebook. I was in Hebrew groups on Facebook. West African Jews groups on Facebook. I was in the groups, and I remember being in these groups, and all of a sudden somebody just started talking about how many guns they got. And I'm sitting there like, why are we talking about scriptures? And you just bust out and start talking about guns. You're a plant. You trying to set people up. So I started talking against it, like, why are we talking about guns? We not talking about that. And then they get mad with me and try to say something, but then they end up changing the story or maybe starting a new thread without me on it so that I wouldn't hear what was going on. But I'm like, if I'm in there and I hear anything crazy, I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to say, wait a minute, what's going on right here? This is crazy. Right? So that's the whole thing with that. So you had people that be right in your group. Tell everybody, if you didn't see it, look at the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. Look at the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. He had the brother got so close to Fred Hampton that Fred Hampton loved him, had him in his home. He was really, really close with him. And the whole time he was working with the FBI. He drew the plans to the house Now, they didn't tell him what they was going to do, but he knew it wasn't going to be nothing good. He drew the plans to the house so that the FBI can come in there and take Chairman Fred and them out. I know it's a spoiler alert. I'm spoiler alert. But look at the movie anyway, because it's very emotional. Even though I did a little spoiler alert with it. My bad. But it's history. Everybody knows what happened. But so yeah, check it out. Definitely check it out.
I was the coordinator of the Illinois chapter of Black Panther Party. In December 4th, 1969, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, two members of the Black Panther Party, were murdered. And they put an informant, William O'Neill, planted him inside the Panther Party.
Mm-hmm.
We can mourn today, but if we understood Fred, if we are dedicated that his life wasn't given in vain.
The National Director of the FBI said that the Black Panther Party was the #1 threat to national security of this nation.
The #1 threat to national security of this nation was black people trying to do for themselves. I want y'all to hear me clearly. The #1 threat. This is what the FBI said. This is what Hoover said. The #1 threat to this nation was black people trying to do for themselves, trying to educate themselves, taking up for themselves. That's the #1 threat to this nation. They terrorists? Are you serious right now? People feeding kids, trying to do for each other? They the enemy? This is crazy. This is crazy. And now they coming after you. Coming after you, black identity extremist. Now they coming after you.
And that created the condition for law enforcement agents all across this nation to go after Panther. That program that they did, in some sense, we ought to be thankful for, because that put in writing for everybody to see we're still in the eyes of so many, nothing but a bunch of Was I surprised? No. I fully expected it to happen. Now the question is, how do we deal with it?
People need to get to their members of Congress and get them a copy of this report and hold their members of Congress accountable. In this day and time,
they say get to the members of Congress and hold them accountable. We're gonna see something later. As I cap the show, we're gonna see something later where you're gonna be like, even them black members of Congress isn't on it. Oh boy, hey, it ain't about skin. It ain't about skin folk. All skin folk ain't kin folk. Stop talking about black. I'm sorry to say, all skin folk ain't kin folk. Just please keep that in mind. Don't fall for the okie doke. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So Rabbi, as you know, they ready to knock this out. I ain't even get to say that yet. They probably ready, like, yeah, any minute now. Let's click them off. Even though I still be seen on, cause I'm live on I'm live on Facebook right now and TikTok, so I still be seen on them. But YouTube, any minute now.
could really stop and halt the progressive movements that are taking place in the country. And I think with Black Lives Matter, with the Dreamers, with all of our millennials and what they're doing, they deserve to be out there and to protest and to engage in petitioning their government to right the wrongs of the past. Those of us who've been around, who saw COINTELPRO, really know the risks and the dangers. And so I hope that people really believe us that this happened, because this is COINTELPRO 2.0.
COINTELPRO 2.0, yeah. Told about it, yeah. You already know. This is COINTELPRO 2.0. Now, I know what you're thinking. You think, come on, Ak. You making too much of this. This ain't what you think it is, Ak. It ain't gonna be the way you think it's gonna be, Ak. Come on, Ak. You thinking too much about this, Ak. Hey, Ak. Hey, Ak. You thinking too much about this, Ak. Well, let's get into this. I want y'all to see something. Now, I'm going to answer Brother Cooley's questions in a way that would have diffused this whole thing that we're going to see going forth. And at the same time, we going to watch this spectacle together. So there we go. All right, so you can't really see. Let me see if I can make it smaller so that I can bring all of them in. I'm going to be able to bring Captain in. All right, bring Captain in. Yeah, that's about it. All right, so we're going to look at this. Bring Captain in real quick. All right, so watch. It's going to start right off with Brother Cooley. I want you to hear what he says.
Right.
Like political actions. Okay, so then my thing is real quick, because you went on a monologue before, and I'll get to your question too. Your question, I do remember it.
Now this is funny. Hey, shalom, Akoti. Good to have you on tonight. This is funny. Watch this. I'm going to set this up for you. Captain Tzariach asked Brother Cooley a question 20 minutes ago. And Brother Cooley kept saying, I'm going to get to your question. I got you. But I just got one more question for you. Now, everybody know he's famous for answering your question, but never answering your question. He just keep asking you questions. So Captain tried to hold on like, all right, let me get his brother a chance. He going to answer my questions. So this is 20 minutes in. He still didn't answer his question. He kept saying, that's an easy question. I got you. But first, I just got a couple of questions to clear some things up. He like, look, man, I answered several questions. You keep saying you're going to answer my question. He going to finally answer the question like 40 minutes later. Close to the end. And all Captain Tzariach could do was laugh. It was funny. Of course, we not going to get that far in the video. I got the video in the description so you can see it for yourself. But it is funny because he going to keep saying, brother, you going to answer? I got you. I'm going to answer your question. And it's a good question. And I got you. Oh, I like the question. Really, really great question. But I just got some. So we going to see him saying that here. Imagine we asked him this question 20 minutes ago. Not 20 minutes ago, my bad. We are 12 minutes, so he answered this question 12 minutes ago. 12 minutes ago, he answered this question, and he still didn't give him the answer. Let's keep going.
It was about the white God. Yeah, I'll get to it in a second. It was about, about the white God being white, and why is it racist that the white man changed God's image and made him white, changed Jesus' image and made him white. We'll get to your question, but first, because I'm just doing an internal critique on basically the monologue that you went on, and you explained it good. I understood it, and I took some notes down of some of the things that you said. So my next quick question is, then, you were speaking about identity. So
you heard it? Identity. Now, at no point, y'all go back and rewind this. Captain Tzariach did say identity like one time. One time he said identity. But other than that, for the most part, he is not been, he definitely hasn't been talked about it in the way that this brother's about to do. But the brother is coming from a playbook. So I want y'all to see. It's a playbook that was put together by a street apologist on how to deal with Hebrew Israelite. And that's what we're going to see at work right here.
My question is, anyone can follow
Protect your wealth by spending physical gold,
of course,
not paper money that grows weaker by the second.
Have an identity. So what's more important then? An identity or your morals and your actions? Because it's like the Hebrew Israelites, you're more hung up on identity of people instead of morals and action.
Now, all y'all on here that keep Torah know good and well that we not, and I'm speaking for myself under that umbrella of a Hebrew Israelite or West African Jew, we are not just focused on no identity. We focus on keeping the Torah. Focus is on keeping the Torah, not identity. But according to the playbook, that's the way you have to explain it for people that might be in Christianity that might like some of the stuff they're hearing. You got to say, well, it's not so much about how you live, it's about identity. I want you to hear the focus. Y'all go ahead, because he's going to say it over and over and over.
So what's more important, your identity or your morals and action?
They both go hand in hand because the law wasn't given to everybody. So Psalms 147:19.
Now, what Captain Tzariach is trying to do, he's really trying to have a civil conversation. But we're going to see, for those of y'all that watch the video to the end, y'all going to see where that's going to go. But he like, look, it go hand in hand. Why is he saying it go hand in hand? He's saying it go hand in hand because if you are Israel, you're supposed to be keeping the Torah. So once you know who you are, you know what you're supposed to do. See, because Christendom teaches that the Goyim or the Gentile doesn't have to keep the Torah. Y'all heard that for those of y'all who came up in the church on Sunday. Y'all heard it say the law is what? Done away with. We under grace now. You don't got to do that. Keeping that law is bondage. That's keeping you in bondage. So now if you look at yourself as a Gentile, you can run with that. But once you understand that you Israel, you can't run with that. Because you got to keep it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, well, I'm a Gentile, so I really don't have to do it. Once you understand that you Israel, once you know your identity, as he going to keep saying, once you know that, it go hand in hand that you keep the Torah. And that's what the captain going to try to say to him, but we watch how he swivels out of that.
But listen, real quick, but it's in.
See, and he's not going to let you talk. Every time you just see how Captain laughing, every time the Captain I got cut off several times within his 15 minutes. Several times he done got cut off. And it's not going to stop. This is going to happen for almost an hour until Captain going to be like, enough is enough. Like, he won't let me talk. Oh, what's this?
Like, what's
I know,
up?
but look, try to help me to make it make sense then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They go.
We have a Bible. We got a Bible that white people read, Chinese people read, black people read, Asian people read. Everyone reads this Bible.
But they don't understand it.
But how can you're just making that assertion? How can someone? So it could be a white man that understands the Bible just like you do and follows those same tenets.
I've never met him.
You never met him. I would say like the KKK. They were very big on identity.
And
did y'all see that? Y'all see how we went to the KKK? Who are the KKK? The KKK are white nationalist extremists. That's how he identifying, or he's trying to put together the Israelites. He's saying, y'all are focused on identity. Y'all are just like the KKK. Where did he get that from? But that is that's straight out of the street apologist playbook on how you convince Christians not to pay any of this stuff no attention. Say they all about identity. They just like the KKK. They actually the black version of the KKK. That's what he's saying. Oh, yes, he did. You said, oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. He's going to put it together. Remember what we just seen? COINTELPRO 2.0. Remember we just see that video. For those of y'all just came in on the live, please go back and look at the replay of it. You'll see at the very beginning, it talks about COINTELPRO 2.0, where the FBI, a document got leaked from 2017, over a little over 7 years ago, where it says that black identity extremists was a threat. That's the new threat. That's the new terrorist. That's the new threat under the FBI radar that they got to worry about. And this brother going to keep saying identity, and now we linking them up with extremists, as in the Ku Klux Klan. Keep going. I'm going to keep going.
And they did not understand the Bible at all.
The KKK didn't understand the Bible?
And look how he acting like the KKK understood the Bible. The KKK didn't understand the Bible? No. It says it like it's a surprise. Look at his face. The KKK didn't understand the Bible? Really? The KKK didn't? No, they didn't understand the Bible, man.
The Bible.
Well, I would say that
let me prove it. Wait, let me prove it.
Real quick. Let me just land my plane real quick. I would say that
he gonna keep trying to land this plane for a whole hour, but let him land this plane. It's one of his many landings.
The KKK was very big on identity. This is what they played. They used the book.
No, that ain't what I mean when I say they didn't.
See how he's focusing on identity? He's not even focusing on that about the Israelites talking about keeping Torah. The Israelites talking about keeping mitzvot and all those different things. What he keeps focusing on is identity. That's his whole focal point, is identity. Watch him. You want to say it?
Didn't understand it. I didn't say they knew their identity.
I get what you're saying, but the point that I'm making is the KKK. They're just like, it's very not just like, it's similar to the logical entailment is Hebrew Israelites prioritize identity. KKK
Now, this is where I wish my brother Captain Tzariach would have said, no, Aki, we don't prioritize identity. We prioritize keeping Torah. We prioritize standing on the mitzvot. That's what we prioritize. We don't prioritize identity. Because that would have killed the whole argument. Because he's trying to build up something. Y'all gonna see at the end. If y'all look at this at the end, y'all will see at the end what he's trying to build up to. But he's trying to build up to something.
Identity, meaning that if you don't identify as
now, and he's saying we don't do that, but notice he's not even giving him a chance to talk. He's talking over him the whole time, which is again going to happen throughout the video.
Us, then you are beneath us. which is
But
a
that has
racist
nothing to do with the
ideology.
Bible. We don't think people are beneath us if they're not Israelites. That's not what we teach.
I'm glad he put that out there. He said, we don't feel it, dude. That's not what we teach. But watch, he going to still come back to it. Even though he said that. Even though he said that. He's going to say, no, you misunderstanding what I'm saying. And he going to restate it again. And then when he cleared that was, no, you just don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is this. Because he's trying to figure out a way to say it to get him to agree that they are an identity extremist. He's trying to find a way to get the captain to agree with this. Not so much probably for COINTELPRO 2.0. I'm not saying a brother a plant. But at least for Christian. Because the idea of the street apologists is we got to find a way to stop black people from leaving Christianity coming over to being this Israelite stuff. We got to find a way to stop that. So we got to say, hey, see, it's all about identity. They just like the Ku Klux Klan. You want to go over there? Is that what the Messiah was about? Is that what he was all about? About your color and this, that, and the other? That's the play.
When we're identifying who are, let me answer.
Okay, go ahead, sure.
Identifying who are Israelites, it's so that we can give them their culture and identity. That's why, their laws.
See? So he's trying. Captain trying to bring it back down. Captain like, look. You said he definitely a play. Hey, shalom. You said he's definitely a plan. He operating like what? He's operating like what? Definitely operating. Because he gonna keep saying identity. He's trying to link him up. Because remember, and again, for those y'all just coming on, I'm telling you, go back and look at the beginning of this on a replay where you see COINTELPRO 2.0. The FBI came up with this thing, they call it Black Identity Extremist. And this is the narrative that him and Christian apologists are trying to put on Hebrew Israelites, FBA, ADOS, whoever focusing on the identity of black people. This is what they try to point on. This is what they try to bring. And this brother, see, I don't want to call it, but I feel you. I feel what you said. But I'm telling you, watch this. This is going to keep going. Captain, keep trying to explain to him, no, brother, that's not what we're about. And he going to say, I think you misunderstand what I'm saying. And he going to come right back around and say the same thing. Watch it. Watch this.
And way of life. That's why I said it goes hand in hand. When you make the comparison about the KKK slaughtered and enslaved the people that were not them.
Go ahead,
the
brother.
KKK systematically locks black men up, Hispanic men up
that
are not them.
Yes.
When we find out somebody's not an Israelite, we don't lock them up. We don't lynch them. We don't hang them. We don't burn their houses down. We don't burn crosses in their house. None of that is in the Bible. So what the Klan does,
now you see him looking, he hears all of that. I want you, because this is funny. This really is funny. I was laughing the whole time I watched this video. So this brother is funny. He listening, but watch what he says. And like, watch this.
Goes back to the doctrine of discovery. When the Roman Catholic Church gave Christians the license to enslave any land that they went into if they were not Christians.
I want y'all to notice that he's reading something. He's reading and looking at something. He said, they're calling us black extremists, but we believe black Latinos and Native Americans are Israel. So it's not just a black thing. Exactly. But they don't care about that. Captain even going to say that. Captain going to say that. What? Y'all got to see the whole. We're not going to have time to look at the whole video. I got it in the description for those of y'all want to see it. If I don't know how TikTok works or how Facebook works, but if you on YouTube, you can go look at the description and see it. And also, please like, share, and subscribe for all the newcomers. Please like, share, subscribe so this can spread out to more and more people. But this is crazy, right? He's pointing this out, and the brother's reading something. I'm telling y'all, it's a playbook. The Christian apologists got a playbook that tell you this is how you deal with a Hebrew. When the Hebrews say this, you say this. When the Hebrews talk like so, because while Captain's talking, you'll notice his eyes is down. He's reading something. So watch him.
And so that's what they did. So when they found, that's why I said they don't understand.
See how he looking at something? He getting it together. What he looking for right now?
Say to enslave and force a people to believe in your God. So you cannot compare us to the Klan.
Nope.
But the Bible does say it is high time to wake up out of sleep. That's in the book of Romans, the 13th chapter. It says it's high time to wake up. Excuse me, I'm just going to read it. Romans 13:11 said that now, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer to an end. 3 chapters before that, it says, my heart's desire for Israel to be saved, for they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So it's
he breaking it down. Captain doing his thing. He Captain always be doing down.
So they can learn how to obey God properly.
Watch this, though.
Christians teach us to obey God wrong.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. So
no, he don't. He do not get what he's saying, but I'm gonna let him say it. He do not get what he's saying.
You're saying that the KKK, well, what they actually done, they actually took action and oppressed black people by raping, murdering, and, pillaging, black people.
Right. Notice how he said took action. They took action, but he was trying to point out and say the Israelites just say take action, but they took action, but it's still, he trying to prove that it's the same thing.
They took action on it. So then my question for you is...
Wait, the way you're saying, like how you stopped me before, when you say took action on it, what I'm saying is...
Captain caught that. Captain like, hold up, now I ain't gonna let you say that, because he trying to say, he's still gonna say it though, but Captain trying to stop him.
They lied on the Bible. There is no action in the
Bible
action to enslave, lynch, or hang people. There ain't no action in it. Right. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, and I don't think that they ever even... I've done some, a little bit of history work on the KKK, and they never insinuated that the Bible says to lynch these black niggas. No, it was the racist ideology, the same racist ideology
people,
that,
right?
Yeah, but the same racist ideology that the Israelites.
See how he brought it right back around? He said, I got you, I understand. But he's still trying to bring it around, say the Israelites is racist. He's still trying to bring it around. They're extremists. He's still trying to bring it, even though he said all that to bring it right back around.
About identity is the same racist ideology that the KKK.
See how, and he said identity again, and he's still trying to link him up with the KKK?
So show me that from the Bible, from the KKK.
I want to buy your house. I can
Captain, like, show me that for the Bible. No, you saying that? Show me that for the Bible.
Well, show you what exactly?
We use our identity to keep the laws of God.
Yep.
You said the Klan did the same exact thing. So show.
Yeah, he didn't do the same exact thing. And watch how he shows it to him. Watch this.
Show me where in the Bible did they use an identity to enslave a people? Give me book, chapter, verse, please.
He not.
Yeah, no, I'm not speaking about. I think you misinterpreted to what I'm.
That's how he get out of it. You misinterpreted me. I'm not saying that. You misinterpreted me.
I'm speaking about. So influence creates action, and action creates behavior.
Now you go throw some philosophy.
The Klan, they did use the Bible in saying that, well, we're more of a superior race than these other
not the Bible. They use
ethnicities.
evolution for that.
Exactly. See how he tried to say use the Bible. He tried his best way to link it up.
They use a lot of things. They use it. Trust me, a lot of the Klan
was the primary thing.
Yes, it was.
A lot of the Klan members was definitely biblical as well. They definitely read the Bible. They definitely looked at evolution as well to a degree, but not really evolution. They used like eugenics and stuff like that. They were real big into eugenics. So
right. Not the Bible.
Not
the only
the Bible.
time they would use the Bible, if I could chime in, the only time they would use the Bible, that's why they have something called the slave Bible, where what they would do is they would go and get a Bible, remove all the verses that would show how a master is supposed to treat a servant, and that's not even talk about slavery.
And to your point, you said after they crucified Christ, the apostles said in Acts 5:29-32, the covenants, both of them are only for Israelites, right? And that's the whole thing. That's what people miss it. He said, I only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why did he only come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Because Israel was the one who stood at that mountain and said, all that you said we will do. Israel was the one that made the covenant with him. So Israel is the one that broke the covenant. So the whole point of coming is to redeem them and bring them back under the covenant. That's the whole point. The Gentiles didn't make the covenant. The Gentiles didn't say, all that you say to do, we will do. They didn't do that. So a lot of people miss that.
Slavery. They remove all the scriptures that would inspire a revolution to keep us docile. So they would give us a scripture like, masters be obedient, slaves be obedient to your masters.
Yeah, that's a scripture there. So, but a question for you real quick.
Wait, let me just
See, he was just going to roll with that like, yeah, that's a scripture there. Because he tried to get to his questions because he's trying to home in to prove his point that he's been trying to prove for now 20 minutes.
Let me just teach something. So that's Ephesians 6 and 5.
Go
it
ahead,
says,
brother.
servants be obedient to your masters.
Mm-hmm.
4 verses down in verse 9, in the same context, it says, and masters do the same unto them. So the same way, that's why Christ washed the feet. When Christ washed feet as king, that's him giving us the example of how, even if you're in charge of a man, this is how you treat each other. You treat each other equally. So what the slave master or the clan member did was he just read that one verse to you and said, if you want to make it to heaven, this is what you got to do. So they don't follow the Bible.
Got you. Well, I can say the same thing. If you want to make it to heaven, this is what you got to do. You have, the Hebrew Israelites, as far as what I've heard thus far, you have a lot of views where it's like, if you want to make it to heaven and be at the top of the hierarchy, you have to be a Hebrew Israelite.
And he's saying that wrong. Oh, my goodness. All right. So we run out of time almost for this. So y'all got the gist of it. He's trying to prove this narrative that the Hebrew Israelites is a black extremist group that's focused on identity. That's COINTELPRO 2.0. Right there. Right there. So again, they talking about you. When the FBI came out with that statement, they talking about you. Now, I want to end on this because I seen this show last night. It's called FBI Most Wanted. Thank the Father for letting me see this. My mother-in-law was watching it, and I was like, I heard them say something about the MOVE movement. I don't know if y'all remember the MOVE movement in Philadelphia. And they had it on this fictional TV show, and the way they was putting it, even though they exposed different things that was happening, but it almost was like a slant to me. Now, maybe I had to look at the show again. Maybe I'm wrong. But to me, when it started off, it almost was like a slant that these guys in this movement was wrong. And what happened to them happened because as a result of them being wrong, so forth and so on. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Now, for those of y'all who don't know what the MOVE movement is, just subscribe to your channel. Hey, hallelujah. All praises. Hallelujah. Torah Rabbi. Hey, so I want to show y'all this. This is crazy right here. I'm going to show y'all this. Hold on, let me open this up. Torah Rabbi, I appreciate that. Now, look at what it says, the MOVE bombing. In 1985, this movement was bombed by the U.S. government working in concert with the city of Philadelphia. They gave the city of Philadelphia a bomb to drop on these black people that they labeled black identity extremists. A bomb. It's crazy. So I said I wanted to bring this out because this is the thing, people. When they can label you and put you in a box and put you as a social other, then they can do different things to you and it make it seem as though they right for doing this. So if I can label you as some deterrent that is messing up the society, then I could do things to you. I want y'all to see this. It was cultivated. This is them from the 70s, right? So it's going to talk about them in the 70s right here. So I want y'all to see this, talk about them in the 70s.
MOVE is a really tough group to summarize, and they've actually kind of confounded journalists over the years as we've attempted to explain them to the public.
Now, these brothers and sisters, as you see, they all were Nazarites. They took the Nazarite vow. They had the dreads in their head. They was all living together as a community. I know many Rastas that still do this, where they will all come together as a people, as a whole, and all of them would get like a big house and everybody living in it as a community, as a family, and they just be together and be happy and so forth and so on. But the thing was, these guys was doing this, and they was becoming militant and almost similar to the Panther Party. And of course, they became a threat to the police. And I just want you to see what happened with them. I know I'm going a little over, but I just want y'all to see this. I'm going a little over tonight. I normally don't go this long.
The name is not an acronym. It doesn't stand for anything, which is kind of a metaphor for the group. It was never very clear what its purpose.
Now, the way he's describing his group is not how the group describes itself. So I just want y'all to remember that the way this Caucasian is describing these brothers and sisters are not how they describe themselves. He says they're a group that name don't have any meaning. Move, to me, if I'm looking at slang, that sounds like short way of saying the movement. Move, the movement. If I get a chance to play them, they actually gonna be saying different things about the movement. But he's going to talk about it in the way that he's speaking about it. So I'm going to let it play a little bit.
Purpose was, or what its message was. It was really kind of one of the last vestiges of the kind of 60s counterculture and revolutionary fervor. The founder was a man named Vincent Lapart, and he was classified as educably retarded by the...
Now, this guy that was the founder, I want you to remember this, because he's going to be saying a lot of negative things, but at the same time, the stuff that happened is not showing negativity. Think about this. I'll never forget Ben Ami, right? Y'all know Ben Ami. That bought he comes from a womb speaker lines. Exactly. Y'all remember Ben Ami, right? Ben Ami got the brothers and sisters together with their identity, who they were, Israel, and they said, we're going to go back to the land. When you read about Ben Ami, the first thing they do, they don't call him Ben Ami, they call him by his government name. And the first thing they say was, he was a bus driver. They say things to try to make it look like this guy don't have the knowledge to be able to, how dare you, you guys believe in it. Like it's like they try to put the brothers and sisters down. And they said this man was mentally retarded. But yet this man started a movement that grew. It was so powerful that these guys felt like we got to get rid of them because they dangerous. This guy right here, that they say, oh, he was mentally retarded.
The Philadelphia School District. He had an IQ of just 79, according to the district. Dropped out of school at 16, and then, and no one knows when exactly it happened, the name.
So this is something that he wrote. He says, when the flow of a river is dammed, his water will top the shore, but only the trickles shall fall on the innocent. So it's some deep poem that he wrote, but he's supposed to be uneducated. But then he show you stuff like this. See, like, wait a minute, I thought he's uneducated. How he writing deep poems like this, but he uneducated?
Vincent Leppard disappeared, and he adopted the new name of John Africa. He produced a Move Bible, which the group...
Again, he's supposed to be this unintelligent person, but yet he created a book. They always try to, whenever brothers and sisters write books or do something, they always, if it's for a group, they say, oh, it's a Bible. They try to make it like it's some kind of cult. It's just a book. Right? But it was talking about trying to teach people how to his community, how they should operate with each other. Right? But they automatically say, oh, he made a Bible. What?
Referred to as the guidelines. And it was actually...
Yeah, now he called this the guidelines. He didn't say this was the Bible. He said it's the guidelines. But look what they said. Oh, it's the Bible. Yes, yes. And even that, and check out the video, because Captain Tzariach even got deep on that. He broke that down. I was like, go ahead. Captain be doing his thing. Captain Tzariach broke that down about the 3/5. He broke that down. And the brother still gonna go around. If you can stomach it, I looked at it and laughed, because I said, this brother tried his best. He tried his best. And eventually you'll see Captain gonna be like, enough is enough. I'm tired. I've been being nice. I've been being patient. I'm tired. I'm tired of playing with you right now. But it was funny to watch.
Actually written by a University of Pennsylvania grad student. That man's name was Donald Glassy.
Now, this guy, they let in a group, and this guy, a grad student, wrote down the stuff that the brother that they said was illiterate and mentally retarded told him to write. He wrote it down, and he was a member, right? But I don't know if it's gonna say it in this video, but later, unfortunately, he also gonna be one of the downfalls, because he gonna turn against them. I already know what you gonna say. But he was with him from the beginning. But yeah, he gonna turn against him.
I've interviewed him, and he insists to me that all he did was basically serve as a secretary and write down Africa's Ramblings. Right from the start, they were almost nihilist. They disrupted neighborhood meetings, and they were kind of equal opportunity offenders.
They demonstrated.
So they disrupted neighborhood meetings. In other words, they came to meetings and protested against whatever they was talking about in those meetings that they felt like wasn't going to be good for them, wasn't going to be good for the people. But of course, that's disrupting.
Against virtually every organization on the right and the left, and both the police and this leftist little newspaper called The Drummer called them reactionary and fascist.
And it became sort of like the McCoys and the Hatfields, where a feud was really going on between the city and the city police and MOVE, and the origins of it were kind of lost.
And the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms federal agents found their arsenal, which had 11.
Now this is one of the things. I knew you was going to say that. He was the downfall. He turned on him. I knew you was going to say that. That's why I laughed. I said, I already know what you're going to say. But this is one of the downfalls. This is what I try to tell people. That's why I said when I was in a group and the people started talking about guns, and I said, dude, this is where you get you at. You in a group brothers and sisters, and y'all start talking about, I got guns, I got this guy, and people show up. I'm like, wait a minute, this is like a setup. Why you on here on Facebook? Pointing out all the guns you got. This is crazy. But I think I still got a little more time. I'm gonna try to show a little more.
Weapons, 11 rifles, and they had about 49 bombs and bomb parts.
In making that case, they flipped, quote unquote, Donald Glassy.
See, there you go. There you go. They flipped him. They said, boy, you better tell us everything. I'm going to tell y'all everything I know about them.
The MOVE co-founder. And he actually became a government informant against MOVE and led them.
He became a government informant.
And the police arrested the feds arrested about a half dozen people, MOVE members, including John Africa. But before the warrants could be served, he disappeared.
While this is going on.
So, all this is going on. They done arrested them. I know, right? They flipped them. All this is going on. All this is going on. And now the people there, mainly, like I think one brother and a lot of the sisters, because they done locked up the men and because the guy turned informant and got them all locked up. So now they like, you know, we want to go in there and take out your stuff. So watch what these people do. This is crazy to me. They had a fence on their yard. Watch what these people do to their house.
They're still having this ongoing standoff with the police, with the building.
Now, this was the early stages. This was the early stages when they had the standoff against the police. Right here. We see all those cops out there. For these few people that you're going to see at the house, it is mainly children because they done locked their mothers and fathers up. There's only a little bit that's left. So what's this?
Building being under surveillance. There's 24-hour surveillance going on, and they wouldn't give up. They would not turn themselves in or turn.
So they want them to turn themselves in too. They're like, no, we got these children. We're not turning ourselves in. We protected our women and our children. We here. We on our property. We got our fence built up. We good. But the police is out there, like the whole SWAT, everybody out there. ATF, FBI, all of them out there, right? What's this?
Turn over their guns and that sort of thing.
Neighbors were complaining that this house was a source of vermin.
Yeah. Now the neighbors was complaining. It said this video shows us how literal the curses of Deuteronomy are. Cursed shall we be in the city. Exactly. It's this part is sad. The other part is really sad. I probably ain't gonna be able to show y'all that. I probably just talk to y'all about that, or I might say this and come back on Monday and talk about this some more when I go live on all the platforms again. But this one right here, this was crazy, and I feel you. I feel you. Cursed in the city, right? So here they are. Even the people around them. Yeah, they minding their business. And the people around them going to be upset that they around them. Because I guess this is an affluent area. And they feel like their property is going down. Their property value going down. So even them, amongst their own people, it's going to be like, oh, why they here? They need to just get out of here. Okay. I appreciate it. Shalom. Total Rabbi. Yes, I'm gonna come back and touch on it, but I'm gonna let this part end out, and then I'll come back and touch on the rest of the move stuff, because I think this is something we need to see, because I'm telling you, they trying to label us, any of us that's focusing on who we are, as black identity extremists. And what's happened to these people right here? What happened to these people right here is what happened to us. And that's why I felt like this is important for us to see. So I'm gonna finish letting this one play out.
A health hazard, and that there were literally dozens of dogs that lived there feeding on raw meat. And when city housing code inspectors went to go there to check out the conditions, MOVE refused to let them in.
Yeah, why they gonna let them in? It's their property. You don't got no warrant or nothing like that. But you want to come in and inspect the what? They like, no, you can't come in here.
The police had racked up $1.2 million in overtime, prompting the city and taxpayers to really, you know.
Look at them. It's just like some brothers and sisters is playful. They just chilling. They got their dreads. They don't even look like they gonna harm you. I seen some rough brothers. Trust me. Up in Baltimore, I seen some rough brothers. I seen some rough brothers that you knew, boy, like, oh, you in the wrong area right now. You better get out of here. If I see them, I'm not thinking, oh, man, I'm in danger. I'm like, these people friendly. Look at how they look friendly. Playful. Look how she's playing. She's so playful. Like, what is going on here? These guys are a threat?
Complain that this has got to end.
The police will be in there to drag them out by the backs of their necks. There will be a confrontation.
Yeah, this guy right here, I don't know why it went low. Let me see if I can make it go loud. Because they're going to talk to him. Watch how he talks about them.
I don't know. It's up to them.
City and taxpayers to really, you know, complain that this has got to end.
The police will be in there to drag them out by the backs of their necks.
Right, so for some reason, they playing him real low.
I don't know. It's up to them whether no barricades, Mike.
He was saying was, look, these guys are going to come out if we got to go in there and drag them out. That's what this guy right here talking about. I don't know why it's playing it low where y'all can't hear it.
They're going to be taken by force.
Let me see if it's going to go back up.
After attempts to negotiate a peaceful solution failed, police surrounded the house on August 8th, 1978.
Now, they tried to get them to come out. They said he wasn't coming out. He already said if he got to drag them out. And he said he don't care if it's children in there. That's what he said. That guy, I think he was the mayor or governor at the time, whatever he was. I think it said he was the mayor at the time. Now watch this. Watch what they do. You see them bulldozers? They about to bulldoze these people property. Police waiting, armed. They about to bulldoze their property. These guys fearful that they can hit a beam and the house can fall down on them and their children. So what you think they gonna do? They gonna fight back. That's what they wanted. What's this?
And began to bring up a bulldozer to knock down the parapet and seize control of the house.
Look at this.
I was in the third floor apartment across the street at 33rd and Pearl, and I was sitting in the kitchen window watching all this on Deadline and reporting it to the day city editor. There was this calm, and all of a sudden, you heard gunfire.
Yeah, you try to bulldoze their house down that they live in. What you think they gonna do? Seriously, what did you think they was gonna do? They knew they was gonna do that. That's the whole point. We want to show that they're in danger. Now we can show they're in danger. Look at this. That's what the police was waiting for. They all out there waiting for that. Now they shooting back. Now they shooting at each other.
And I looked down, and Ramp, who had been kneeling down to take his position, his shooting position, along with the other stakeout officers, right below me at the corner on the sidewalk at 33rd and Pearl. Basically, he fell backwards.
You see all them cops though? Oh, whenever I see that, I always think about that KRS-One song. When it comes to arrest a black man, you need 30 cops or more. Well, now, when they arrest a black man, you need 30 cops or more. Well, now, eh? I always think about that song whenever I see this type of stuff.
None of the others did, and blood was coming out of his mouth.
So they shot this cop, and he expired.
I screamed in the phone, "Oh my God, they shot a cop." I think they started the deluge tanks again to give them a chance to get Ramp out of the scene.
Now, look at what they had. The kids had to come out naked because they done tear gassed the place and did all kind of stuff to the place. So the kids coming out, you just gonna see like children and a couple of grown men and children and a couple of sisters, right? Because they already locked everybody else up.
And then when that stopped, the MOVE people started to come out of the basement. And there were children there all morning. There were like hundreds and hundreds of rats, and there were dozens of dogs.
And it's crazy. Why are they even showing the kids like
this?
this?
And there was
This is ridiculous. Let me see if I can go past this.
But when Delbert or Africa came out, they
looked at him as one of the leaders. Watch what they gonna do to this brother. And they came out willingly giving themselves up. Watch what these dudes gonna do to him. Watch what they do to him. This is what I wanted y'all to be able to see. This is what happened when they can call you a social other. I can do stuff to you, and the public will sympathize with me and say, well, hey, what they supposed to do?
One grabbed him by the hair, by his dreadlocks, and started dragging him down.
And they got the picture. He's dragging this brother by his dreads. Almost like, you know how the lynchings where they would tie the rope to you and pull you by the car? He going to drag him on the cement. The brother don't have no shirt on.
Down the street, and these other cops just surrounded him and started kicking him and punching him.
Look at this video. He said, kick him on the head. They said it, kick him on the head.
Ed Rendell ended up charging police brutality against several of those police.
And I bet none of them charges stick, but okay. Look at this.
After the shootout, the nine adult MOVE members in that house were all charged with third-degree murder. And
all of them was charged with third-degree murder. All of them. All the adults. So what about the kids? What's going to happen to the kids? They don't care about that.
There was a long and tumultuous trial that was kind of a local version of the Chicago 7 trial in the 60s in Chicago. The trial was constantly disrupted, and people were gagged, and people were taken out. And eventually the judge, Edwin Mahmoud, found all 9 of them guilty of third-degree murder. After the 1978 shootout, MOVE essentially set up shop at a new headquarters, which was at 6221 Osage Avenue in far west Philadelphia.
Now, that new area where they set up at their new area, and they said, we learned from what happened today. We learned from this. So they built bunkers and stuff, making sure that nothing that happened that day would be able to happen again. They knew they was going to be secured. They prepared and got ready for it. Now I'm going to let y'all know what happened next week when we come back next week. Monday, I'm going to touch on this again. All right, so for those of y'all who follow me on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to be on all platforms. But on Thursdays and Fridays, I'm just going to be on YouTube. And Thursdays, we got our rules of engagement dealing with relationships. And of course, Friday is Torah portion Friday, where we would deal with the Torah portion. and that's at 9:45. I went a little long tonight because I wanted y'all to really get the gist of this. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that was on here. Thanks for Faith Works being on here as well. The next season, Heart for Serving, and of course Sister Anne Marie, and anybody else on here who might be silent that I don't know. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And before I go, I had to at least bring us some kind of inspiration. So I got our sister Nyland, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And she has a beautiful, beautiful song. Some of you may even know this song. I just heard this sister the other day and I was like, wow, this is a beautiful song. I love how she put it together. Sister from Chicago, Chi-Town, and just want to let her represent. So this is our artist of the week.
What if everything I thought I was needing don't even want me? What if it's stale? And what if I get nervous if I don't deserve this? What if I'm not strong if I heard it wrong? And what if I need you but you never come through and I am forever alone? As every possible negative goes through my mind, it's stopping me from believing what I know is mine. If I could get me out my way, I think I'll be fine. Cause really, like, what if I fly? What if I soar? What if I rise and score? What if I be? What if I'm me? And it works out beautifully. What if I fly? What if I soar? What if I rise and score? What if I be? What if I'm me? And it works out beautifully. What if I?
Shalom, shalom. Again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And on that note, Layla Tov. Pray that everyone has a great night and rest tonight. And I will talk to y'all later. All right. Shalom.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim